Hello students, the experiment that we are going to perform today is to find the thermal conductivity of a good conductor using Searle's method. The good conductor for which we are going to find out the thermal conductivity today is copper. So let's discuss the apparatus first. The apparatus being shown to you is the Searle's apparatus. I'll just open it up and show various components of the Searle's apparatus to you. This is the Searle's apparatus. This is a wooden box in which there is enclosed a copper rod for which we are going to find out the thermal conductivity. This copper rod is kept in a wooden box that is being shown to you here. This is enclosed within this wooden box and this is the material for insulation. Right. This is a hot plate on which we have kept a steam generator in which we generate the steam. The steam generated with the help of this steam generator is passed through one end of the copper rod. I'll show it to you closely also. Through one end of the copper rod. This is one end of the copper rod from which this is the inlet for the steam and this is the outlet for the steam. So consider this to be the hot end of the copper tube, and on the other side there is a cooling chamber. This is the cooling system which is attached to the another end of this copper tube. From one side the cold water is entered and from other side the hot water comes out. I'll show it to you closely as well. I'll just take it out from this wooden box. The thing shown to you is a copper rod. This is a rigid or solid copper rod. This is a chamber. From here we enter the steam and this is the outlet. This in turn heats this copper tube and this is the cooling chamber or the cooling system. From this side we enter the cold water and from this side the hot water comes out that tries to cool this copper rod. Here we insert thermometer T1, here we insert thermometer T2, here we insert thermometer T3 and here we insert thermometer T4. Now I'll just discuss the assembly once again. This is a steam generator from where we generate the steam and it is connected to the steam chamber that is connected to the copper rod. From here the steam enters in and from here it comes out. This is the inlet and this is the outlet. This is the thermometer T1 that is placed on the hotter side of the copper tube that is connected to the steam chamber. This is thermometer T2 which is connected to the colder side from where the cold water is entering. This is thermometer T3 and this is T4. This is the temperature of the cold water that we are entering here and this is the thermometer T4 to measure the temperature of the hot water coming out of this from this side. Now let's discuss the procedure stepwise. First of all, we switch on this hot plate. It gets heated and it in turn heats the water in this steam generator and steam is generated. Now showing you the copper rod as well. So this steam enters this side and this is the outlet. This in turn heats this copper rod. And this one is the colder side. From here the cold water is entered and it tries to cool this copper rod and from this side the hot water comes out. We fix a flow rate towards this side where the cold water is entering and in turn the hot water is coming out from this side. The cold water enters the system and takes away the heat from the copper rod. The temperature of the water entering the system, that is the cold water, can be noted from thermometer T3, this one, and hot water coming out can be noted from the thermometer T4. Heat will flow from this hotter end towards the colder end and the temperature difference can be noted down with the thermometers T1 and T2 as already discussed. These thermometers T1 and T2 are placed at a distance of D centimeters, means you can note down the temperature in centimeters. like here. This is the hole for thermometer T1 and this is T2. We have to note down this distance and let's call this distance as small d. Then we have to note down the temperature T1, T2, T3 and T4 every 5 minutes until it reaches a steady state. That is, a constant temperature is attained, and after which there is no change in the temperatures of thermometer T1, T2, T3 and T4. That is the constant temperatures. Let's call these temperatures as theta 1 for thermometer T1, theta 2 for thermometer T2, theta 3 for thermometer T3 and theta 4 for thermometer T4. Theta 1, theta 2, theta 3, theta 4 are the constant temperatures that we have attained after some time. As already discussed, we also have to note down the flow rate of water. This is the outlet of our water from which hot water is coming out, which is trying to take away the heat from this copper rod. This is being collected in a beaker, or we can also collect it in a measuring cylinder, in a graduated measuring cylinder, or in a graduated beaker. We have to check the flowing rate of this water. That is, we have to collect the water in this measuring cylinder for every 5 minutes, that is for 300 seconds, and thus we have to calculate the rate of flow per second, which is in ml per second. Once we have noted down the flow rate of water, we have to measure the parameters of this copper rod. That is, we have to measure this distance d, that is between the slots for thermometer T1 and T2. Also, we have to measure the diameter of this copper rod with the help of vernier calipers, from which we can measure the cross sectional area of this copper rod, right? And once we know all the parameters and all the temperatures noted from thermometer T1, T2, T3 and T4, that is, this was theta 1 constant temperature, theta 2, theta 3 and theta 4. Once we know all the values, we have to substitute them in the formula. This is the formula: K is equal to md into theta 4 minus theta 3 divided by A into theta 1 minus theta 2. Here K is the coefficient of thermal conductivity of good conductor, that is the copper rod for which we are measuring. M is the mass flow of water per second. As we have already calculated the flow of water per second, it was in ml per second, and as we know that ml of water is approximately equal to 1 gram, so we can also note it down as gram per second. D was the distance between the thermometers T1 and T2, this was small d, and A was the cross sectional area of the copper rod for which we had measured the diameter. So, inserting all these values in this formula, we can find out the thermal conductivity of copper rod. After that, the value of thermal conductivity that we have calculated can be compared with the standard value of copper rod, and we can know the error in the readings that we have taken. Thank you.